It wasn't until after the college entrance exam that I found out Jason had been updating logs of people simping for him on the school's confession wall every single day. He took photos of the breakfast I brought him each morning. Caption, a simp's loving dog food. He secretly snapped pictures of me writing in my diary. Caption, look. The simp is secreting love dopamine. He coaxed me into crossing the line, then filmed me as I slept. Caption, haven't won my true love yet. So I'll use this simp as a placeholder. My mind exploded with a buzzing roar. I felt the blood in my body freeze. So, I was nothing but a total clown. I didn't cry. I didn't ask him why. I just turned around, blocked and deleted him, snapped my SIM card in half, and calmly accepted the study abroad arrangement my family had made. Chapter 1. All because I wanted to get into the same top 2 university as Jason. I didn't touch my phone until after the college entrance exam, but what I saw on screen made my hands tremble violently. The simp is peeking at me again. Gross. This watch is pretty expensive. The simp gave it to me, selling it for half price. Anyone want it? Can't wait to see the simp's face when they find this post. Kinda looking forward to it. My fingers holding the phone turned pale. My chest was so tight I could barely breathe. Outside the equipment room by the sports field, I heard voices. Jason, that white shirt Selena gave you feels pretty nice. Mind if I have it? Jason kicked a rock, sounding annoyed. A cheap gift from a simp belongs in the trash. Not worth giving to anyone else. Go buy your own. Someone else chimed in. Selena's smart. And she's kinda elegant. Plus, she treats you really well. You never felt anything for her? Jason's voice turned icy. She looks average as hell. And she's stiff as a board in bed. How could I ever like someone like that? Then came another question. Oh right, Jason. The homeroom teacher gave phones back today. Selena's gonna see your post soon. You seriously not scared she'll flip? Jason kicked that guy. Scared of her? I wish she'd flip. That simp clings to me every damn day. It's exhausting. The guys burst into loud laughter. Their voices rang in my ears like a bomb, even sharper than the cicadas shrieking outside. The scorching summer wind swept through the hallway. It was burning hot, but I felt frozen to the bone. Before the exam, Jason had tutored me every day with such care. His fingers brushed over every word on the practice sheets. I thought he was building a future for us. Turns out, he was just gathering material for his simp diary. The day I gave him that white shirt, he smiled with that cool, handsome look in his eyes. The spring breeze lifted the hem of his shirt, gliding past his sharp jawline. He said white shirts suited young men. He really liked it. But it was all a lie. Every beautiful memory of youth collapsed in an instant. My fingertips went numb. My ears rang louder and louder. The cicadas outside screamed like they were ripping open the sun. Youth died. Just like that. Chapter 2. I didn't even bother wiping away my tears before I lowered my head and sent a message home. Mom, I agreed to study abroad. I'm not filling in my college application. I didn't check how happy my mom was in her reply. I just stared blankly out at the school field. I don't know how long I sat there before I finally dragged myself home. Stiff and numb. When I opened the post again, I saw that it had been deleted. I didn't understand what that meant. Was Jason planning a new way to humiliate me? Then suddenly, a message popped up from Jason. I was too rough that night after the exam. Did you rest well? As always. His tone was mature beyond his years. Gentle and caring. I didn't reply. The next morning, Jason messaged again. Are you hurt? I'll come see you. My heart was a mess. I didn't want to see him. I replied. I fell asleep last night. I'm fine. Don't you have a gathering with your bros tonight? You go ahead. After a while, Jason replied, okay. I always put his feelings first. Afraid I'd annoy him. Probably just another simp joke to him. A wave of frustration surged in my chest. I jumped up and gathered everything related to him into a box. Threw it all into the trash outside. Lunch boxes, diaries, love letters, photos, drawings, every single gift he had given me. Each one once carried the tender secrets of my teenage heart. Each one had become a prop for his simp diary. A target of mockery. The sight of it all burned my eyes, and it felt like my heart had been stabbed with 1,000 needles. It hurt, sharply. I finally broke down, collapsed onto my bed, and cried my heart out. The kind of crying that rips your soul apart. That leaves you gutted. So this is what it means to be a complete and utter clown. Chapter 3. My mom acted quickly, and the study abroad agency moved even faster. That same evening, they contacted me and asked me to come in to confirm the paperwork. What I didn't expect was to run into Jason after his gathering. A group of guys came laughing out of the clubhouse, surrounding Jason and Anna. Anna, my half-sister. She wore a soft white cotton linen dress, looking delicate and sweet. She paused, biting her lip as she asked, "Jason, I thought you didn't like Selena. Why did you delete the post? Afraid it'd hurt her?" Jason had one hand in his pocket, his voice cocky and cold. "I couldn't care less about a simp's feelings. I posted it to help you vent. Remember? If she caught on this fast, what's the fun in that? Anyway, I've got tons of her bed pics on my phone. Wouldn't it be better to show them to the whole school at graduation? That'll really let you blow off steam." Anna pressed her lips together. "You really never had feelings for Selena?" Jason let out a mocking laugh, scoffing, "I'd rather fall for a dog than for her." My heart felt like it had been punched hard. Pain exploded through my chest. So in his eyes, I wasn't even worth a dog? Anna's expression softened. She asked, "Jason, that day, did she try to kiss you and fail?" Jason nodded, confused. Under the bright lights of the clubhouse and its glowing fountain, Anna suddenly stood on tiptoe and kissed Jason hard on the lips. It lasted a long time before she pulled away. "My kissing is way better than hers. Your first kiss should be mine." With that, she walked off, light as air. Jason stood frozen. He didn't kiss her back, but he didn't push her away either. "Look!" Jason's so dazed he forgot to kiss back. What a waste of a chance with a goddess. My heart clenched so tightly it felt like it was being twisted into a knot. Like I couldn't breathe at all. On my 18th birthday, Jason had arranged 99 candles in the shape of a heart. He said the best blessings should go to the most beautiful 18th. And that when I looked back on that birthday, I'd always think of him first. That night, the sky had been clear, stars sparkling like diamonds, bathed in the glow of candlelight. I couldn't help but tiptoe up and try to kiss him. But he dodged. He said, "Let's wait until after the college entrance exam." I thought back carefully to that wild, passionate night after the exam, thought about it for a long time, and realized I couldn't remember him ever kissing me. Turns out, it wasn't because he forgot. It wasn't because he wanted to wait. It was because he wanted to save that kiss for someone else. That's when I finally understood. Sex is to satisfy physical need. A kiss is reserved for someone you love. Turns out, even bed and kisses could be so clearly divided. The pain in my chest almost knocked me out. I clutched the study abroad brochure tightly, squeezed my eyes shut hard, and turned my head away, without ever looking back again. Chapter 4. Numb. I walked back to my apartment complex and stopped downstairs. The street lamp overhead cast a faint yellow glow. I didn't expect to lock eyes with Jason. His home was in a private villa estate miles away, an entire house all to himself. Aloof family privilege. I never imagined he'd show up here tonight. Shouldn't he be chasing after Anna? Staying with her? Anna didn't even live in this neighborhood. Instinctively, I hid the study abroad brochure behind my back. "Jason, what are you doing here?" He pulled me into a fierce hug. After a few breaths, he lifted my chin with one hand and leaned in to kiss me. My eyes widened, pupils shaking. What was he trying to do? Was this another new way to mess with me? I instinctively pushed him away and whispered, "Jason, this is my home." But he held me tightly, refusing to let go. His voice husky. "Lena, your lips taste amazing. Don't go home tonight, okay?" There was a flicker of desire in his eyes. So, he was hooked now, too afraid to make a move on his goddess. He'd come to me, the simp, to vent his urges. I looked up at him blankly. My long lashes cast shadows under the street lamp, like tear trails. He smelled of mint, mixed with the scent of ink and paper from the print shop. Cool, refined, bookish, just the way I used to like him. But now, it absolutely disgusted me. My stomach twisted violently, and I almost threw up. I made up a quick excuse and tried to leave. He paused, a flicker of something dark and unreadable in his eyes. "Lena, did you see it?" I frowned, instinctively asking, See what? He visibly exhaled in relief. That's when I realized what he meant, and my chest felt like it was being crushed. I turned to walk away, but he got annoyed. Stepped in front of me. Selena, I made the effort to come find you, and now you're mad at me? I didn't want to say a single word to him. He let out a frustrated laugh, but then softened his tone. Okay, my bad. I shouldn't have kissed you downstairs at your place. If your mom saw us, just tell her we're dating. She likes me anyway, doesn't she? I took a deep breath and tried to stay calm. I'm not feeling well. I just want to go home and sleep. He acted like he was being merciful and waved me off. All right, go. You're not getting away from me anyway. But just as I turned around, he suddenly grabbed my wrist, frowned, and said coldly, Lena, what are you holding? That looks like a study abroad brochure. Chapter 5. I clutched the study abroad booklet tightly. At that moment, a notification popped up on my phone, a message from the school's network. I looked down to check, but Jason suddenly snatched the phone from me. He raised his hand to unlock it, then froze. Oh, I forgot I already. He trailed off. I narrowed my eyes and asked coolly, already what? Jason forced a smile. Nothing. I remembered wrong. He thought I hadn't seen the post, so he acted like nothing had happened. My stomach cramped harder. He handed the phone back to me, gently patted my head, just like every time he used to walk me home. It's my fault. Go rest now, okay? His tone was soft, like a perfect boyfriend, and I couldn't help but want to scream at him. Jason, how can you act so well? But the pain in my stomach left me too weak to speak. I said nothing and turned to go upstairs. Back home, I curled up on the bed clutching my stomach. Tears welled up uncontrollably. How could he treat me like this, all for Anna? Anna's mother seduced my dad during my mom's pregnancy. That's why my parents divorced. And Anna had the nerve to go around spreading rumors that my mom was the homewrecker, that I was the daughter of a mistress. She had targeted me ever since we were kids, constantly bullied me with others, stuffed feces in my backpack, cornered me after school and beat me, spread rumors that I was a streetwalker. In the end, my mom had no choice but to transfer me to another school. I thought I could finally breathe again, finally focus on my studies, but I never expected the only boy I ever liked would like her instead. And to make it worse, he used me to vent her anger, lied to me, used my body, humiliated me online. How could he do that? I buried my face in my blanket, letting my tears soak into the sheets. Please, just let me leave quickly. I truly didn't want to be tangled up with him anymore. Thankfully, my mom had already started the study abroad process last year. I'd received offers from several schools. All that was left was the visa and housing application. Classes would start in August. 50 more days, and I'd be out of the city. I'd never have to see Jason again. Chapter 6. 4 days in a row. Jason kept asking me out. I turned him down each time, saying I wasn't feeling well. He never suspected a thing. He always assumed I couldn't live without him, that Selena would never willingly leave him. Until graduation day, when I had no choice but to see him. He was wearing the white shirt I gave him, paired with black suit pants. Tall, sharp, elegant. As class president, he was busy helping organize the group photo, so he didn't get a chance to look for me. After the photos were done, I waited in the hallway for the ceremony to start. That's when I heard Jason's voice from the media room down the hall. Someone asked him, Jason, are the bed pics ready? Jason answered coolly, all set. Another person snickered, this is gonna ruin Selena's reputation for good. Anna, just wait, she's about to be socially annihilated. Smack. Jason threw something at him. Less trash talk. Go get the principal's presentation ready. Then Anna spoke, sounding hesitant. Jason, are you having second thoughts? This feels kind of too far. Maybe we should stop here? Through the silhouette in the window, I saw Jason pull Anna into his arms, their foreheads touching. His voice turned gentle. Anna, you're too kind. After all the years she bullied you, and you're still thinking about her. Remember, when it's a dog, you don't treat it like a person. This is the punishment she deserves. It felt like my lungs were filled with frozen bubbles. Every breath stabbed like ice picks. So painful. Jason had even gone out of his way to sneak Anna, who wasn't even from our school, into the building, just so she could witness my public humiliation firsthand. Anna looked up and kissed him. They hadn't seen each other in a few days, and yet they'd grown that close. This time, he didn't hesitate. He kissed her back, deeply, passionately, as if they couldn't bear to part. My chest felt like it had been shredded by frozen blades. Bleeding, stinging, even breathing tasted like rust. It hurt so much. Chapter 7. During the ceremony, I clutched the remote for the auditorium's projector screen tightly in my hand. If I noticed even the slightest hint that something was wrong, I was ready to shut it all off. But through the entire graduation event, nothing happened. No photos, no exposure, as if Jason had changed his mind. But I knew better. In the media room, someone asked, "What happened, Jason?" I copied everything, but nothing played. "Don't tell me you caught feelings and pulled it all back." Jason kicked him, voice cold as ice. "Quit talking nonsense. It's probably some glitch. Like hell I'd fall for a simp." Someone else added, "Maybe Selena saw the post and got suspicious. She might have pulled the files herself. Don't forget, she's the class committee head. She has the media room key." Jason denied it immediately. "Impossible. I already confirmed, she never saw the post." He patted Anna's head gently, coaxing, "Something just went wrong today. Don't worry, I'll find another chance to humiliate Selena properly and help you get your revenge." Anna's voice was sweet as syrup. "It's okay, Jason. You're the best." My stomach cramped again, nausea flooding in. I rushed to the bathroom and threw up violently. But I hadn't eaten breakfast. All that came out was stomach acid and bile. So bitter, so sharp. Chapter 8. After dropping Anna off, Jason came to find me. He exhaled like a burden had lifted, smiling like nothing had happened. "Finally done with everything. Now I can spend time with you. Just like always." He gently pinched the tip of my nose. "Little Lena, do you know how many days we've been apart? You have no idea how much I missed you." It felt like all the air in my chest had jammed in one place. I couldn't breathe in, couldn't breathe out. It burned all the way up to my sinuses. He wrapped an arm around me, cheerful. "Let's go to the amusement park later, okay? You've always wanted to go, right? Today, I'll take you." I had begged him to go so many times before, and he'd always refused, saying it was childish. Now he brought it up on his own, at this moment. I truly didn't understand him. Was this just another stage to humiliate me? Did he go to such lengths, just to please that girl who used to bully me? It felt like claws were shredding my heart. I trembled from the pain. Jason smiled warmly, eyes gleaming. He looked down at me and bragged, "So, are you that excited? Don't I deserve a kiss as a reward?" His lips still had traces of Anna's lipstick. Her signature scent still lingered. The image of them kissing replayed in my mind. It felt like my heart had been pierced, blood pouring out into my chest. Suddenly, I didn't want to play it cool anymore. Jason laughed brightly and teased, "Shy? Come on, be bold and kiss me already." I looked up at him, gaze steady, voice calm. "Jason, I saw the post, and I heard everything in the media room." Chapter 9. Jason froze. Even though the summer air was scorching, it was as if he'd fallen into an icy lake. His whole body went stiff. His eyes darkened. His voice hoarse. "Lena, what did you say?" I hadn't wanted to talk to him anymore. Even seeing him made my skin crawl. But now, I was burning with rage. Word by word, I asked, "The simp diary post you made, plus those bad pics you planned to expose in the media room, have you already forgotten?" "Jason, was it fun, making a joke out of my feelings?" Each word was like a knife, slicing straight through him. Jason stared at me, his expression unreadable, eyes shaded in gloom. Time seemed to halt as he raised his hand to cover his nose and eyes, casting a long shadow across his face. Under the sun, his fingers were pale and elegant, but they were shaking. Just then, a familiar, chirpy voice rang out nearby. Anna ran up to Jason, bright-eyed and excited. "Jason, I've changed my mind. I don't want you to keep messing with Selena's feelings for me. I like you. I want to be with you." She glanced at me as she spoke, eyebrows raised in triumph. She did it on purpose. She wanted me to know. Jason had only ever gotten close to me for her. Everything he did was for her amusement. The one he liked was her, not me. Even though I already knew all of this, my heart still seized up in pain. A sharp, piercing ache. Jason paused, then dropped his hand, revealing an emotionless gaze. He let out a cold smile and slowly took Anna's hand. His voice was as cold as winter water. Yes, I did all of that. But you know what you did to Anna. You deserved some punishment. You don't get to blame me. I'll give you 3 days. Apologize to Anna, and I'll let it go. We can still apply to the same university. Then he turned and left with Anna, holding her hand tenderly. I stood there, staring at their backs in a daze, then suddenly laughed out loud, bitterly. Laughed until my nose stung and tears streamed down my cheeks. Of course Jason never once felt guilty about what he did to me. In his eyes, I was just a tool to please the girl he liked. From beginning to end, I was nothing. My phone lit up. I glanced down. A tear dropped onto the screen with a soft plop, smudging everything. After a long while, I wiped my eyes and saw a message from the study abroad agency. Congratulations, Selena. Your dorm application has been approved. Wishing you a wonderful journey ahead. The summer wind blew gently past me as I turned to say goodbye to my school. Then I walked out of the gate without looking back, not even once. A future without Jason. I'll be happy. I have to be. Chapter 10. After getting home, I started planning a travel itinerary. In the middle of the night, I still sometimes thought of Jason. My chest ached every time. I couldn't stay in a place that held so many memories. I needed a completely unfamiliar city. Brand new streets. Brand new scenery. For 2 days straight, I stayed busy researching. Jason didn't contact me until the 3rd morning. He sent a curt message. Today's the deadline. Don't forget to apologize to Anna. I ignored it and tossed my phone aside. But the thought of being wrongfully accused, toyed with, and publicly condemned, it made my blood boil. I picked up my phone and fired back. First of all, I never bullied Anna. Second, it was Anna who bullied me so badly I had no choice but to transfer schools. Lastly, we're done. Don't contact me again. I watched as the typing bubble popped up on his end, but no message came. I thought maybe Jason had finally let it go. But that evening, he suddenly sent me a video. In it, he was asking Anna directly if what I said was true. Anna looked into the camera, confident and righteous. Selena loves twisting the truth. If you don't believe me, Jason, ask anyone at school. She's the one who bullied me. She won't apologize and now she wants to manipulate you into scolding me? She's awful. Of course, Anna's mother was powerful. She had covered everything up long ago. Even now, if someone went to ask, no one would stand up for me. They might even help Anna spread more lies, saying I was the bully. Then Jason's friends chimed in. Exactly. We checked around too. Anna's totally telling the truth. Selena was brutal back then. Jason, one of my buddies, goes to Anna's school. He said Selena was forced to transfer because the school caught her bullying students. Don't fall for her act. My breath turned ragged. My chest heaved violently. My face went pale. I didn't even realize it, just stared blankly at the screen. The room in the video fell quiet. Everyone looked nervously at Jason. Someone asked hesitantly, Jason, you look awful. Did we say something wrong? Anna's expression turned uneasy. Jason, are you mad because we talked about Selena? Are you feeling sorry for her? A cold laugh echoed from off-screen. Jason's voice was chilling. Why would I pity a bully? A girl that manipulative? A sharp pain struck my chest. The camera shifted. Jason's sharply defined face came into view. His eyes were dark, his voice scornful and mocking. You lied to me, Selena. What more do you have to say for yourself? You've got 1 day. Apologize to Anna, or don't even think about applying to the same school as me. I froze. Even my breath felt stuck in my throat, like I was suffocating. Again. Anna, once again, took the lead in slandering me. Her minions followed suit, spinning lies and spreading rumors. No one ever bothered to ask the truth. They just believed her, joined her, helped her. Even Jason, whatever others told him, he believed it. Never once tried to find the truth. He stood, with pride, on the side of the bullies, and pointed fingers at me, just like when they all surrounded me years ago, calling me the homewrecker's daughter, the streetwalker. It felt like all the oxygen in my body had been sucked out. I gasped wildly for air. Then Jason gently patted Anna's head, voice soft. Anna's been wronged. I'll make her apologize to you. I'll make it right. The screen began to tilt down, showing nothing but Anna's sweet, sticky voice rang clearly. Jason, you really do care about me the most. Even the sound of her kissing him echoed clearly. My breath stopped. My chest felt packed with sandbags, heavy, suffocating, crushing. The video ended. The screen went black. And just like that, so did my world. I collapsed. Completely. Chapter 11. I didn't know how long I'd been out before my mom woke me up. Why are you sleeping so early? You're sweating all over. I slowly opened my eyes and saw my phone screen lit up. An anonymous email. Selena. I'm sorry. Back then, when you were being bullied, no one stood up for you. No one said a word in your defense. I was one of them. And I've felt guilty ever since. I still can't live it down. I just wanted to apologize and hope you can forgive my cowardice. It was from someone at my old school. I didn't know who. I immediately replied, "Can you speak up for me now?" Silence. No reply. My heart, which had briefly lifted, sank again, deeper than before. Still the same. My nose began to sting, tears brimming in my eyes. My mom asked gently, "What's wrong, sweetie?" That sting surged all the way to the top of my head. I couldn't hold it back anymore. I collapsed into her arms and cried, loud, broken sobs. She held me silently, not asking anything. Only when I was too drained to cry anymore did she lead me to the dining table. The food looked as appetizing as ever, just like her love always tasted, warm, familiar. But I couldn't taste a thing. Ding. My phone buzzed. I numbly picked it up. It was Jason again. "Do you have anything else to say?" I ignored it and set my phone aside. A few minutes later, ding, ding, 2 more messages. "As long as you admit your mistakes and apologize, you can still be my girlfriend. To err is human. If you correct yourself, I'll still apply to the same university as you." Suddenly, I remembered the beginning of senior year. Jason was ranked first in our grade, while I wasn't even in the top 100. Back then, I'd been silently bringing him breakfast for half a year. Then one day, he finally spoke to me. His cold eyes didn't feel so distant anymore. Later, he began treating me more gently, offered to tutor me after school. I was overjoyed, thinking maybe my silent crush was finally blooming into something real. Right before the college entrance exams, he said, "Selena, if you can score 700, I'll go wherever you go." That night, I was too excited to sleep. I thought it was his confession. I thought I filled his world, until I saw the simp diary. I went back to the exact dates. The day he first talked to me, he posted, "Simps never change. Just say a few words to her and her eyes light up." Pathetic. The day he offered to tutor me, he posted a secret photo of me writing in my journal. Barely spent time alone and the simp's already pumping out dopamine. So cheap. The day he promised to apply to my university, he wrote, told her I'd go to the same school, and the simp actually believed it. Dumb and disgusting. And under every post was Anna's like. I was just a trained pet, a private performance for Anna to enjoy. I stared at Jason's new messages. My hand trembled around the chopsticks, brain buzzing. It was all fake. Everything. Jason used my affection to toy with my heart again and again, treated me like a damn pet just to amuse Anna. I grabbed my phone, opened his contact, blocked, deleted, snapped the SIM card in half. Clean, decisive, without hesitation. Chapter 12. 30 days left until school started. 30 more days and I'd be gone from here, forever. In the meantime, I just wanted to wander a bit, but since I was still waiting on my visa, I didn't go far, just explored nearby cities. Since the day I blocked him, Jason hadn't contacted me again. A while later, that anonymous email sender messaged me once more. Just one word, "Sorry." I didn't reply. On college application day, the class committee rep messaged to confirm students' choices. She hesitated for a moment, then asked, You're really not submitting an application? You're really not going to the same university as Jason? I replied calmly. No, please keep it confidential. I don't want anyone to know where I'm going. She sighed and sent a serious thumbs up emoji. Even though I'd blocked Jason, news about him applying to Capital University still found its way to me, through classmates' social media posts. In the comments, Lou never posts about anything, let alone asks us to repost. He must be really happy this time. Did you hear? Lou's dating a girl from another school. He's constantly showing off online. I saw them at an amusement park. Seriously. They look like the perfect couple. I'd already expected it. Jason and Anna. Together. But seeing it in writing still sent a jab through my heart. A slow, dull ache spread outward. I clutched my chest and told myself over and over. It's just a normal human reaction. It doesn't mean anything. It's fine. Time heals everything. One day. This won't hurt anymore. I looked down at the calendar. 15 days left. Just 15 days. And I'll be gone from here. Chapter 13. A few days later, the class decided to organize a graduation party in our classroom. When the class committee member reached out to me, I was camping by the lake. She asked if I wanted to come, and after thinking for a moment, I still declined. She tried to persuade me. After this, everyone will go their separate ways. We probably won't see each other again. Take this last gathering as a farewell to your youth. Come on, join us. If it really becomes too awkward, I can cover for you and help you leave early. I thought about the classroom where I had fought so hard. All those endless practice exams, and the final score of 715. I hesitated for a long time, and finally agreed. It wasn't for anyone else. I just wanted to say goodbye to the version of myself who once gave everything. When I entered the classroom, everyone was already there. The moment they saw me, everyone visibly froze. After the homeroom teacher finished their speech and left, whispers began to spread around the room. She really has the nerve to show up? Doesn't she know she was already exposed on the campus confession wall? Classic simp behavior, always plotting some self-redemption route. Bet she couldn't let go of Lou and came back groveling. Selena bullied her own half-sister at another school, and now she wants to steal her sister's boyfriend? Shameless. I heard Selena scored over 702. Wonder where she applied to. I asked the class rep, but she wouldn't tell me. Where else would she go? Probably Capital University too. Don't forget. She's a simp. Simps always follow their master. Ha ha ha. Everyone laughed. Clearly on the same page. Although I've always been introverted, I've never done anything to hurt anyone in this class. Yet they were so quick to believe rumors. So eager to drag me through the mud. The calm I'd managed to hold on to began to sink again. Jason's face turned grim, and the murmurs started to die down. He walked up to me and asked, "Why did you block me?" Even though I had mentally prepared myself, my heart still clenched the moment I saw him. I forced myself to stay calm and replied, "We broke up." He pressed his lips together, eyes filled with something I couldn't read. He stood there stiffly, saying nothing. I looked him in the eye. "I heard you're with Anna now. Congratulations." His eyes darkened, voice turning cold. "Oh, should I thank you for that?" A pang struck my heart, and I lowered my head without replying. But he wouldn't let it go. His voice suddenly rose. "Selena, you bullied classmates at school and feel no remorse at all?" The others joined in, throwing insults like daggers. I suddenly stood up and shouted, "I didn't!" Anna showed up out of nowhere, confidently accusing. Of course bullies don't admit they bullied. Bad people never admit their wrongs. She had her little squad behind her. "We can testify, it was Selena who bullied Anna. She put poop in Anna's backpack and dragged her into the bathroom to pour cold water on her." "I can testify too. She didn't just bully people, she's a street girl. Pretends to be a studious nerd. But in reality, she's just some sugar daddy's plaything." Everyone began throwing strange glances my way. Some guys even looked at me as if they wanted to strip me bare. Jason suddenly shouted, "If you have no proof, don't you dare slander her like that. Want me to shut your mouth permanently?" Chapter 14. Everyone froze, and the girl who spoke quickly shut up in fear. Anna seized the moment and threw herself into Jason's arms, whining, "Jason, you said you'd make Selena apologize to me. Isn't this the perfect time?" Jason didn't push her away, he held her tighter. Then he turned to me, pressuring me with his tone. Selena, if you just apologize, everything will be over. I promise no one will bring it up again. The other classmates chanted, apologize, apologize. I stared at Jason. He said nothing about the public shaming I suffered on the confession wall. Not a single word of apology. Now he wanted me to apologize to the person who bullied me. In front of everyone. He wanted to see me humiliated. I remembered back in my first year of high school, when Anna locked me inside the city pool's changing room. It was a stormy night, and the power went out across the entire building. In the tight, dark space, my wrist ached where Anna had stomped on it. I curled up in a storage locker, trembling. I thought I'd have to wait until the janitor came in the morning. Then, suddenly, a beam of light shone through the crack. Jason appeared like a deity, descending from the heavens to rescue me from the dark. I thought he was my salvation. I transferred to his school, step by step getting closer to him. But in the end, the one who mocked me was him. The one who betrayed me was him. The one who hurt me the most was him. I was blind. I took a deep breath, calming myself for a long while before walking slowly up to the podium. No one knew. The second anonymous email didn't just contain the words "I'm sorry." It had an attachment. Inside were surveillance videos of Anna bullying me. Those security cameras that had conveniently kept malfunctioning were just part of the school's cover-up to protect Anna. Jason frowned at me, clearly confused. I turned to everyone and said loudly, I never bullied anyone. I was the victim. Anna talks a big game, but what does she really have? I've got evidence. I cast my phone screen to the multimedia projector and played the videos one by one. The one throwing poop in the backpack? Anna, not me. The one dragging someone into the bathroom to bully them? Anna, not me. She ambushed me after school and ripped my skirt. She spread rumors everywhere, calling me a prostitute on the streets. It was all Anna. The entire class stared in shock, jaws dropping. Anna's face turned beet red, completely at a loss. Jason stood frozen, like a nail hammered into the ground. Suddenly, my phone dinged with a new message. Congratulations, Selena. Your visa has been approved. Wishing you all the best at Yale. Someone gasped. Wait, Selena got into Yale? She didn't apply to Capital University? Chapter 15. From the moment the videos started playing, Jason's eyes shifted from shock to anger, then to deep regret. The instant he saw the visa notification, he looked straight at me, his pupils trembling. I ignored him and walked away without a word. But he chased after me all the way to the school gate. He grabbed my wrist, his voice trembling. Lena, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. The overwhelming remorse surged in him like a tidal wave, choking him into silence. His eyes were red, tears brimming but stubbornly refusing to fall. I tried to pull my hand back, wanting nothing more than to cut all ties. But he held on tight, refusing to give me even the slightest chance to escape. He forced himself to take a deep breath. After a moment, he finally found his voice. Lena, I'm sorry. I misunderstood you. I'm truly sorry. I shouldn't have made that post, and I never should have toyed with your feelings. His voice suddenly caught, but he struggled to stay composed. You never did anything wrong. I'm the one who hurt you. I'm so sorry. I looked at him calmly, without sorrow or joy. I had thought that when he finally apologized, when he truly regretted everything, I would feel relieved that I'd finally be able to let go of all my feelings for him. But standing here in this moment, I realized something I had already let go long ago, when he left behind wounds that could never heal. Now, all that was left in me was peace. I nodded, and even allowed a faint smile to form on my lips, as if completing a ceremony. I understand. Let this be our goodbye. Jason still wouldn't let go. He asked me, why didn't you apply to Capital University? You said it was your dream school. You promised we'd go to the same university. I frowned slightly, my voice calm. Jason, did you forget? In that simp confession post, you literally said you were lying to me. Jason froze. His grip slowly loosened, and in his eyes were shame, guilt, frustration, and fear. I didn't understand. He never liked me, so what was he afraid of? But whatever it was, It had nothing to do with me anymore. I walked a few steps away, then turned around and waved at him. Goodbye, Jason. I hope you have a bright future. The summer willows were lush and green. The boy in white stood beneath their shade, his expression dark and unreadable. He forced a smile that tried its best to look decent and nodded at me. You too. As if making a silent decision, he turned and walked away. I looked back at my alma mater one last time, then turned and left, without looking back again. Chapter 16. In the final days before the new semester began, I filed a police report. I submitted all the evidence to the authorities, and the case quickly became a social media storm. Anna became a public pariah, scorned and condemned by netizens everywhere. No matter how hard her mother tried to suppress it, she couldn't. When my mom found out everything, she held me in her arms and cried uncontrollably. She blamed herself for not noticing I was being bullied, and asked me why I never told her. It was because I couldn't bear to. Neither of us could go up against Anna's powerful family. I couldn't stand to watch my mom suffer mentally because of me. Fortunately, it's all in the past now. In all this time, I never saw Jason again, but I could faintly sense it. There must have been some powerful force behind the scenes, pushing the online momentum. Still, I no longer cared. The day before my departure, I was still camping at the campsite. Unexpectedly, I ran into Jason and his friends. They were swimming at the nearby resort, right behind my RV. Someone said, Jason, if you still can't let go of Selena, just go talk to her. Jason said nothing. The mood grew awkward, until another guy smacked the first on the shoulder. What nonsense are you spouting? As if someone like Master Lou would actually fall for an ordinary girl. Crash. Jason smashed the wine glass in his hand. He roared, Get out of my sight, all of you. I quietly packed up my things, feeling utterly calm inside. A while later, Jason got a phone call. He put it on speaker. Master Lou, the flight information you asked for has been sent to your inbox. Jason shot to his feet. He put away his phone and strode off without a word. On the day I flew out for school, I hugged my mom goodbye in the airport terminal. We both cried, our eyes red and brimming with tears. In the haze, I thought I saw Jason standing in the crowd, but when I looked again, there was nothing. Truth is, I did truly like him once. I still think of him from time to time, but as I stepped onto the plane, I took a deep breath. From this moment on, Jason and I were truly over. Chapter 17. After arriving at Yale, I smoothly started my college life. There were bumps along the way, but overall, things went well. I became deeply immersed in research, spending most of my time in the lab, and made some real progress. I also made many friends from all over the world, from different cultural backgrounds. I lived comfortably and colorfully within a circle of incredibly kind people. During breaks, I traveled to various countries. I began to radiate a new kind of light, no longer withdrawn, no longer silent, confident, warm, radiant. Years went by without a single word about Jason, until one day, Amelia, the former class rep, came to Yale as an exchange student. During one of our casual chats, she brought up the past. You left so decisively back then. You don't even know how bad Anna had it afterward. The project her family was working on with the Lou Group got snatched by a competitor. Their massive investment turned to dust. Later, when they realized Anna was the root of the problem, they forced her to apologize to Jason. Guess what he said? I sipped my drink through a straw. Saying nothing, she continued. Jason said their whole family owed you and your mom an apology, that they were pointing fingers at the wrong person. Later, your dad brought Anna and her mom to apologize to your mom. She kicked them out of the house, and it even made the news. That part one already knew. Last New Year's, I didn't go home, but my mom had mentioned it. She said she couldn't understand why my dad suddenly brought his whole family to apologize, and that she had the security guards throw them out. Amelia went on. Anna's family is basically finished now. I'd give it a few more years before they get acquired by the Lou Group. She paused and looked at me carefully, then finally asked, I can tell Jason still has feelings for you. Are you really never getting back together? I lowered my eyes, sipping my drink. After a moment, I shook my head. Whatever happens to him has nothing to do with me. I let go of all that a long time ago. Besides, I trailed off. waving at the handsome underclassman waiting for me outside the window. A smile unconsciously crept onto my lips. I already have a new life. I said goodbye to Amelia and turned to leave, just as I heard her sigh softly behind me. What a pity, I smiled. Not a ripple in my heart. Chapter 18. After graduating senior year, I chose to return to China to work. I joined the research lab of a biopharmaceutical company, leading a team developing a new anti-cancer drug. Luckily, not long after, the lab secured a massive investment. It wasn't until contract signing day that I found out. The investor was none other than the current head of the Lu Group, Jason. When the director introduced me to him, he simply nodded, as if we were complete strangers. He had lost weight. His facial features were sharper than before, dressed in a perfectly tailored black suit. He looked tall and composed. His entire presence radiated keep your distance. Every move he made exuded maturity and control, a far cry from the teenage boy he used to be. I'd heard from Amelia that Jason had become increasingly withdrawn after starting college. He'd been pursuing dual degrees in finance and law, while steadily gaining influence in the Lu Group. No relationships, no entertainment, no interest in women. Some even rumored he'd changed his orientation and started dating men. After the signing, the director asked me to walk Jason out. In the elevator, he spoke first. I wasn't sure if it would cause you trouble, so I didn't tell the director that we know each other. I smiled and replied, "It's fine, either way is okay." Silence settled again. I broke it. "Long time no see. It's good to see you doing well. I'm happy for you." My tone was calm, my expression composed. Jason's Adam's apple bobbed slightly. A gentle light flickered in his eyes. "Thank you. Didn't expect you'd still pay attention to me," I replied frankly. "We're old classmates. Of course I'd hear a little here and there, because I had let go. I could speak so easily." I thought he had too, but his gaze suddenly darkened. His entire aura chilled. A moment later, he returned to his polite and composed self, so fast that I almost thought I imagined the flicker of anger. As we reached the building entrance, he suddenly turned around and invited me to dinner. I shook my head, declining politely. "I need to get home early today. Maybe another time, Mr. Lu." After that, Jason started showing up at the lab nearly every day, sometimes bringing bubble tea for everyone, sometimes asking about research progress. Sometimes he'd just sit outside the lab, sipping coffee while working on his laptop. Every time we ran into each other, I greeted him warmly. He always seemed to enjoy it. His smile would deepen each time. His assistant once told me, "Mr. Lu has smiled more in the past few weeks than he has in the last 4 years combined." I didn't think much of it. I didn't really care. He invested a lot of money, so long as he didn't interfere with my work. He could do whatever he wanted. Eventually, colleagues began teasing me, asking if Mr. Lu had a crush on me. I laughed it off and explained, "We were just high school classmates. Even if he seems interested, it's probably just nostalgia." Jason's body visibly stiffened, a shadow crossing his gaze. On Valentine's Day, he asked me out again, just the two of us. Because of the timing, I politely turned him down, just as he was about to say something else. Ryan, my underclassman from Yale, now a senior, suddenly appeared. He held a bouquet of roses and stepped into view, voice as clear as water. "Lena, surprise!" Ryan had been chasing me for a while. I'd been hesitant to start a long-distance relationship in our final year, afraid it wouldn't end well. I was scared to begin, so I never said yes. But Ryan hugged me gently, smiling with joy. "Lena, I missed you so much." He even nuzzled into my neck. His touch sent a shiver through me. Ryan was stunning, like a character out of a romance manga, and his personality was just as perfect. Cheerful, optimistic, full of life. He brought out the best in me. We could talk for hours and never run out of things to say. It had been months since we parted at graduation. His sudden appearance made me realize just how much I missed him. All those sleepless nights at the lab. Maybe I was just burying myself in work, running away from how much I missed him. In that moment, I forgot where I was, forgot who else was around. I threw my arms around Ryan and burst into tears. "I missed you too, Ryan, so much." My coworkers gossiping snapped me back to reality. That's when I remembered. Jason was still there. His face had gone pale. His entire body seemed frozen. His eyes were fixed on my forehead, where Ryan had just kissed me. A colleague asked, "Is that your boyfriend? He's gorgeous." I smiled and nodded. Ryan picked me up and spun me in excitement. Jason flinched like something had pierced straight through him. His lips tightened. His throat bobbed, but he didn't say a word. He turned and walked away. After that day, Jason never came to the lab again. It was as if he'd vanished completely. Chapter 19. 6 months later, Ryan graduated and returned to China. With his exceptional talent and prominent family background, he quickly opened his own art gallery. Within just a couple of years, he'd made a name for himself, becoming a renowned artist both at home and abroad. Eventually, both of our families began urging us to settle down. Naturally, we got married. A year later, we welcomed a beautiful daughter into our lives. Ryan adored her so much that he gifted me a villa, just so our daughter could spend more time at his family home. Jason and Anna completely disappeared from my world, as I watched my daughter being showered with love by her doting grandparents, and Ryan smiling so brightly beside her. Tears welled up in my eyes, without me even realizing it. The hardships of youth, they always pass. Time moves on. Some people drift apart. Some people, eventually, reunite. Extra, Jason's story. When Jason was a child, his only female playmate was Anna. During puberty, the first person he ever dreamed about was also Anna. So, naturally, he assumed he liked Anna. Then Selena transferred to his school, and Anna cried to him, saying Selena had bullied her. He believed her without a second thought. One of his friends suggested they mess with Selena's feelings as payback. Normally, Jason would never resort to such a roundabout method for revenge. But for some reason, this time, he agreed. He began to get close to Selena, watching her fall step by step into the trap he had set with false tenderness. At the same time, he started posting on the campus confession wall, mocking her as a simp. Every time he typed out those exaggerated words, a part of him hesitated. But when he saw Anna like his posts, when she cried and told him Selena had caused her psychological trauma, his resolve hardened again. He told himself he was just standing up for justice, that it was all an act. Every time his heart skipped a beat because of her, he repeated that lie to himself, until the day after the college entrance exam, when Selena finally got her phone back. He panicked. The first thing he did was delete the post. He told Anna it was all part of the plan, to keep toying with Selena. But only he knew. That erratic heartbeat had long betrayed him. He just didn't want to admit it. How could he possibly fall for someone who bullied her own half-sister? How could he like a girl that cruel? He liked Anna. That was what he had always believed. But when Anna kissed him, his body recoiled instinctively. And when he found Selena, the moment he saw her, he couldn't help but kiss her. Only when her scent completely replaced Anna's did he finally feel satisfied. Back then, teenage Jason didn't know. He was already in love with her. He thought it was just ordinary affection, a harmless crush. He thought something was wrong with him. How could he be attracted to someone so awful? So he denied it, kept telling himself she was cruel, that she didn't deserve love. He stubbornly accepted Anna's closeness, even when Selena confronted him with the truth and told him she knew everything. Even as his soul seemed to leave his body, his heart stopping, his pupils shrinking, he still refused to admit it. His upbringing, his values, his pride, none of them would allow him to love someone he believed was evil. But then, Selena revealed, right in front of him, the evidence of Anna's bullying. Only then did he realize how ridiculous he had been. No, how ridiculous he was. He wanted to storm over and slap Anna, to ask her, "How dare you? How could you lie to me?" But in the next moment, he saw the notification. Selena had been accepted to Yale. Shock, rage, all of it drowned in panic. He chased after her blindly, gripped her wrist like his life depended on it, apologized, even when he could barely speak through his choking guilt, forced himself to stay calm, just to ask for forgiveness. He wanted to keep her, wanted her to forgive him, wanted to tell her he liked her, begged her to give him another chance. But Selena said, "Didn't you write in that post that you were just lying to me?" That one sentence shattered all of his confidence. He had hurt her so deeply, A girl who once looked at him like he was her whole world. A girl so broken by bullying she had to transfer schools. What right did he have to ask for her forgiveness? He was the one who hurt her the most. In that moment, Jason's entire world turned to darkness. From then on, he watched her from afar like a ghost. Even arranged for Amelia to go to Yale as an exchange student, just to stay informed about Selena's life. He was the first to know that a handsome art student was pursuing her, and that she didn't seem to mind. Jealousy nearly drove him mad, but he didn't dare show up. When Selena returned to China after graduation, he orchestrated her job offer at the research lab, then immediately invested $100 million, just to see her again, just to have a legitimate reason to be near her. He didn't dare confess. He wanted to win her over. Slowly, he thought, since Selena no longer pushed him away, maybe he still had a chance. Until Ryan came back. Until Selena kissed Ryan in front of him, smiled and told everyone, "He's my boyfriend." Just like that. His illusions, his confidence, his hope, his courage, shattered into dust. Only then did Jason realize he had already lost her, long ago, and he never had a chance. That year, Jason turned 28. So did Selena. She was married. He was still alone. Jason was invited to her wedding, and he went. Selena wore a traditional qipao, glowing with beauty. She looked like a living painting. He took one glance and didn't dare take another. He was terrified he'd rush in and ruin it all. Afraid his twisted possessiveness would break free. Afraid he'd lock her away forever. But the happiness in her eyes, it was blinding. He suddenly remembered that day back in sophomore year, when he first spoke to her, the way her eyes lit up, even brighter than today. The ache in his chest was unbearable, like a slow, brutal execution, peeling him apart piece by piece, leaving nothing but an empty shell. When the bride and groom came to toast, he lowered his gaze, stared at the glass in Selena's hand, clinked it softly, his voice cold. "Congratulations." Only he knew. He nearly shattered his teeth holding back the pain. When did he fall for her? He remembered that night at the swimming center, the sound of crying from the girls' locker room. He followed the light and found Selena, curled up in a storage closet, pale and trembling. She looked like a fragile, stubborn butterfly. She brushed her cheek against his. In that moment, his heart skipped a beat. After the toast, Jason immediately left the wedding. He turned back once, to look at the bride and groom, a perfect match, a fairy tale couple. That should have been him and Selena. Finally, he couldn't hold back the tears. He hid in a dark corner, and broke down, utterly and completely.